about Daniel, how Daniel how Daniel told the king his dream and interpreted it. Daniel chapter 2, the king's forgotten dream. Now in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar had dreams, and his spirit was troubled, and sleep left him. Then the king gave orders to call in the magicians, the conjurers, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans to tell the king his dreams. So they came in and stood before the king. And the king said to him, I had a dream, and my spirit is anxious to understand it. Then the Chaldeans spoke to the king in Aramaic. O king, live forever. Tell the dream to your servants, and we will declare the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the command from me is firm. If you do not make known to me the dream and its interpretation, you will be torn limb from limb, and your house will be made a rubbish heap. But if you declare the dream and its interpretation, you will receive from me gifts and a reward and great honor. Therefore, declare to me the dream and its interpretation. They answered the second time and said, let the king tell the dream to his servants, and will declare the interpretation. The king answered and said, I have said that you are bargaining for me, inasmuch as you have seen that command from me is firm, that if you do not make the dream known to me, there is no only one to give you. For you have agreed to speak blind and until the situation is changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, that I may know the interpretation. Chaldeans answered the king and said, there is not a man in all that will declare the matter for the king, inasmuch as no great king or ruler has any darkness of any magician, conjurer, or Chaldean. Moreover, the thing which the king demands is difficult, and there is no one else who could declare it to the king except God's, whose dwelling place is not with mortal flesh. Because of this, a king became indignant and very furious, and gave orders to destroy all wise men of Babylon. So the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain, and they looked for Daniel and his friends to kill him. Then Daniel replied with discretion and went to Arioch, the captain of the king's bodyguard, who had gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's commander, for what reason is the decree from a king so urgent? Then Arioch informed Daniel about the matter. So Daniel went in and requested of the king that he would give him time in order that he might declare the interpretation to the king. Then Daniel went to his house, and he informed his friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah about the matter, in order that they might request compassion from the God of heaven concerning that his mystery, so that Daniel and his friends might not be destroyed with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, let the name of God be blessed forever and ever, for wisdom and forever belong to him. And it is he who changes the times and the epoch. He removes kings and establishes kings. He gives wisdom to wise men and knowledge to men of understanding. It is he who reveals the profound and hidden things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him. To thee, O God of my fathers, I give thanks and praise, for thou hast given me wisdom and power. Every now thou hast made known for me what we requested of thee, for thou hast made known to this king's matter. I thank you and praise you, O God of my fathers. Therefore Daniel went into Arioch, whom the king had appointed to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and spoke to him as follows: Do not destroy the wise men of Babylon. take me into the king's presence, and I will declare the interpretation to the king. Then Arioch hurriedly brought Daniel into the king's presence, and spoke to him as follows: I have found a man among the exiles of Judah who can make the interpretation known to the king. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Are you able to make known to me this dream which I have seen and its interpretation? Daniel answered before the king and said, As for the mystery about which the king has inquired, neither wise men, conjurers, magicians, nor diviners are able to declare it to the king. However, there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he made it known to King Nebuchadnezzar what would take place in the later days. This was your dream and the vision in your mind while in your bed. As for you, O king, while on your bed your thoughts turn to what will take place in the future, and he who reveals secrets has made known to you what will take place. But as for me, this mystery has not been revealed through me for any wisdom residing in me more than in any other living man, but for the purpose of making the interpretation known to the king, that you may understand the thoughts of your mind. You, O king, were looking, and behold, there was a single giant statue, a statue which was very large and of extraordinary splendor, was standing in front of you, and its appearance was awesome. The head of that statue was made of fine gold, its breast and its arms of silver, its belly and its thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay. You continued looking until a stone was cut out without hands, and struck the statue in its feet of iron and clay, and clashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were crushed all at the same time, and became like chaff from the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried away, so that there was no trace of them was found. But the stone that struck the statue became a great mountain that filled the whole earth. This was the dream. Now we shall tell its interpretation before the king. You, O king, are the King of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power, the strength, and the glory. And wherever the sons of men dwell, or the beasts of this field, or the birds of the sky, he has given them into your hands, and has caused you to rule over them. You are the head of gold. And after you there will rise another kingdom, inferior to you, then another third kingdom of bronze, which will rule over the earth. Then there will be a fourth kingdom, as strong as iron, inasmuch as the iron crushes and shatters all things, so like the iron that breaks in pieces, it will be crushed and break all these in pieces. And in that you saw the feet, the toes, partly of potter's clay and partly of iron. It will be a divided kingdom, but it will have in it the toughness of iron, inasmuch as you saw the iron mixed with common clay. And as the toes of the feet were partly of iron and partly of pottery, so some of the kingdom will be strong, and part of it will be brittle. And in that you saw the iron mixed with common clay. They will combine with one another in the seed of man, but they will not adhere to one another, even as the iron does not combine with pottery. And in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, and that kingdom will not be left for another people. It will crush and put end to all these kingdoms, but will itself endure more forever. Inasmuch as you saw that a stone was cut off the mountain without hands, and that it had crushed the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God has made known to the king what will take place in the future. So the dream is true, and its interpretation is trustworthy. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell on his face and did homage to Daniel, and gave orders to present to him an offering and fragrant incense. The king answered Daniel and said, Surely your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, since you have been able to reveal this mystery. Then the king promoted Daniel and gave him many great gifts, and they made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief prefect over the wise men of Babylon. And Daniel made request of king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the administration of the province of Babylon, while Daniel was at the king's court. There you have it, guys. There were some mistakes made. I also make mistakes. I'm just human. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys, and bye. And I must apologize because this video was so long. Anyway, peace.